Fantastic. I am Dr. Lisa. You can call me. Welcome to your first therapist session with me. It's very nice to meet you. Now please, I will be asking you some questions during this session, and I will be recording some notes as well. Everything said here remains between you and I, and of course, it is confidential. Fantastic. So, before I make some notes, if we can just get to know each other just a little bit, please let me know what brings you in here today. Why did you decide that this was the right path for you? I see. Of course. Yes. And that's perfect. Yep, that's wonderful for you. Wonderful. Great. Now, typically in these sessions, what I like to do is to start, I just like to get to know each other and sort of unpack some things. Now, the best way I find to get to know each other is to unpack a series of questions. So some questions I will be asking you, and some questions I would actually like you to ask yourself, and then we can unpack the answers together in our next session, of course. Yes, well, I would really love to get to know you with some questions, and you can simply say yes or no for some of these. However, most of these are going to cause you to delve a little deeper, and I will be making some notes here. Yes, just some scribbles, but please don't let my note-taking stop you from talking in any way. And of course, if you would like a break or to pause for some water or a tissue, anything you'd like, I'm here for you. Right now, you have all of my time and attention, and we are relaxed. There's no place to go but just right here, so I do hope that you're comfortable and ready to be a little bit open with me. I find these few questions I'm going to ask really allow us to get the creative juices flowing, and I will learn quite a bit about you without getting too overly personal in this first session, at least. All right? Fantastic. Well, if at any time I repeat you'd like to stop or take a break, please just let me know. Don't hesitate to let me know, all right? Fantastic. So, I would like to begin by asking you just a simple question, and that is, do you feel like you've lived this same day many times before? So aside from the fact that this is your first time in this therapy question, in this therapy session, do you feel as though you've lived this same day before? So think about what you did when you woke up in the morning and your routine tasks and things like that. Do you feel as though you've lived the same day many times before? And don't mind me, I'll just be taking some notes here. All right. And why is that, do you think? And how does that make you feel? Okay. And just a little bit, you'd say? no, that's exactly what we're looking for. Again, there are no right or wrong answers here, so the important thing is just to get your reflection and thoughts on the matter. Fantastic. The next question I'm going to ask you is, are you living the life of your dreams? So imagine the life of your dreams, something maybe you grew up as a child imagining your adulthood to look like and where you are now. Would you say you are living currently the life of your dreams? Could you expand on that? I see. Since childhood, yes. Okay. And you said you would. Of course. Yep, by all means. Yep, for sure. You would say in 5 years. Of course, yes. This is probably why we're here, of course, sure. Alright, and the next question, which could sort of relate perhaps, is what would you do if fear was not a factor and you could not fail? So what would you do if fear was not a factor and you could not fail? So you can apply this principle to any endeavor or task or goal or scenario in your life. Yes, this can be as vague as you'd like, but you can please get specific. What would you do? Yes, and work. Okay. Yes. I see. Yes. That would change everything. We often let fear be our guide when that is completely wrong. Completely wrong. It is okay to have some sense of fear in things. After all, it is what has kept our ancestors alive for many years. But there is a difference between trusting our gut and letting that halt our life and our decisions. Of course. With worrying, you said yes. And why does worrying impact your life, would you say? Go on, yes. Okay. Often, when we worry about something before it even happens, we change the outcome of what could have happened. And therefore, if this situation that we were worrying about never happens or never manifests, why were we worrying to begin with? And what did that do for our current state? And if something that you worried about did indeed happen, how did worrying about that change change the outcome. Does that seem to make sense for you? Mm-hmm. Precisely. So essentially, when we worry, if something happens, we are suffering twice. And when we worry, if something doesn't happen, we are suffering for no good reason. And that is related to fear, yes. The fear of. Mm-hmm. Of course. Yes, you've got it. Well done. To connect those two things as often, it's difficult. Some realizations we make about ourselves are not easy, but that is the benefit of talking things through, of course. Fantastic. Good for you. Well done. The next question hopefully will perhaps relate in a way, but we've touched a little bit briefly upon this. However, if I can go a step further, I would say, what causes you currently stress in your life? So any current situation or relationship or life task or simply anything, what causes you stress in your life right now? Yes. Mm-hmm. Even in general, by all means. Yes. And that is stress. Of course, with that specific relationship as well. Ah. I see. And you often feel as though, precisely. And this could be related to the fears and the worries and the monotony of. Yes. You see how these are all connected now. Of course. Okay. Oh, yes. So essentially in a few aspects of your life, so many various areas, there are situations that call for stress. Okay, I'm just going to highlight that, but I do want to say that stress is normal. And sometimes we wait for periods of our life to be stress-free, and then lo and behold, another situation happens, and we're stressed even more so, or we have a different level of stress. Now, this is perfectly normal, but the goal is not in eliminating stress, but it is in managing stress and stressful situations. Because if you are waiting for a time in your life where there will be no stress, quite frankly, that may never happen. But how you deal with these situations and how you deal with stress is what will make all the difference. These were some difficult questions to reflect on and chew on. Now, to be a little bit more lighthearted, what were you doing in your life when you felt the most passionate and alive? So imagine where you were, perhaps your age, your circumstance, your life in the moment when you felt the most passionate and alive. If you could just describe that for me, or paint a picture for me, or go back to a time and, yes, the most passionate and alive, yes. Okay. And do you remember the year, or was that just a symbol? All right. Precisely. Yep, if you could just... Oh, of course, yeah, I would love to. Yes. Do you think that played a factor, or... For sure, I mean, yeah. Anyone would, of course. The most, yes. Yes. And perhaps you would like to. And how do you think that's impacted you now? Yes. I see. Thank you for that. That was a good picture that you painted for me there, so I can understand a little bit better. Yeah. Terrific. And to end on one of the last questions I'm asking you, before I have you ask some things to yourself, but I like to usually end on this note with my clients, you can say, and I would actually ask you, what currently are you the most grateful for? Oh, of course, yes. Oh. Yeah. I see. And when did this? Good. That is a good reflection. The most grateful for. Oh, of course, yep, you can. Sure. All right. Yes. Yes. I see. Fantastic. That is all the note-taking I'll be doing in this session. Now it's your turn for some homework. Now, of course, I will be emailing you these questions, and I would like to unpack them in the next session, but rather than simply sending them off in an email and having you read them for yourself, I would like to read them to you. That way, if you have any questions, you can simply ask me now, but these are questions I would like you to ask yourself. So you can reflect on them as I'm asking you now. And then in our next session, we will unpack these questions, and you will have hopefully reflected even more on these. So I'm going to ask you some questions, so just relax. Just be calm. Think of what you would say, but most importantly, take all of these in. If you need any clarification, simply stop me. If not, I do look forward to hearing your answers in the next session. But for now, I want you to ask yourself these questions. All right? Okay, so the first question would be, am I truly proud of the person that I am? So ask yourself this. Am I truly proud of the person that I am? Next question. Are there any toxic relationships in my life that need to be dealt with? Are there any toxic relationships in my life currently that need to be dealt with? All right. The next question would be, am I too hard on myself, or am I not hard enough on myself? Okay, so just really reflect. Am I too hard on myself, or am I not hard enough on myself? Yes, it can, of course. And we will definitely unpack this next time for sure. All right. The next question would be, what worries me the most about my future? What worries me the most about my future? Perhaps the reason for certain anxieties or restlessness. Yes, for sure. All right. Next question. What dreams have I given up on? What dreams have I given up on? We must ask ourselves, what dreams have I given up on? So this might call for a little reflection, but you'll be surprised as to what you may find for sure. The next question is, what do I need to change about myself? Not all change is bad, so what do I need to change about myself? And I would preface this by saying, of course, for the better. All right. Next, what do I want to be remembered for at the end of my life? This could be sort of a legacy question, if you will, but what do I want to be remembered for at the end of my life? Good, and we will, definitely. Next question, am I in control of my life? Am I in control of my life? Are you in control of your life? We will. Next question, what makes me happy? What makes me happy? What makes me happy? So without focusing on the who, the where, the why, the what makes me happy in life. All right. Next question, am I a good friend? Am I a good friend? And we can also add partner, spouse, sibling, parent, child, friend. We will delve a little deeper, for sure. Next question, who would I trust with my life? Who would I trust with my life? Yes. Interesting. Next question, what am I most afraid of? All right. So we spoke a little bit about fears today, and we spoke a little bit about stress. We spoke about if fear wasn't an option, but I would like you to ask yourself, what am I most afraid of? Most. All right. Next question, am I contributing to the world? Am I contributing to the world? Seems simple enough, but definitely. Next question, am I a good communicator? Am I a good communicator? Only you can answer that. And finally, the last question, who am I most jealous or envious of? And why? All right? Who am I most jealous or envious of? And why? Yes, so you do have a little bit of thinking to do there. And of course, when I email you these questions, it is simply so you can sit and reflect on these. And we will unpack them and go over these answers in depth in our next session together. All right? Yes, I like to read them ahead of time for you, just so that you're not getting a simple email and you don't quite know what to do. But of course, I don't want any written responses to these. We will discuss them in person in our next session, of course. But you've been great. You've done a wonderful job in the first session, and this was simply a way of us getting to know each other through some questions and precisely. All right, so if you did enjoy this, I would definitely like to see you in a month's time. Yep, we can schedule, of course, at your leisure, so simply email me and we will discuss. I just wanted to say that I am proud of you in taking these steps and coming to your first session. Wonderful. Well, I love to hear that. Fantastic. All right, well, take care and I look forward to seeing you in our next session.